I am live. Oh my gosh. Looking like a hot mess. Okay. Welcome to anyone who comes on live. Those of you who are watching the replay, this is a Q&A / work session. I got all my, let's see if I can show this. I got all my stuff here. I'm going to be writing a self-hypnosis track. For those of you who want to learn how to hypnotize yourself, to manifest anything that you desire, there's a video that was created. I'm going to link that below in case you haven't caught that. It also comes with an incredible PDF where you go step by step, because it's one thing to listen to a video. It's a whole other thing to actually have it like in front of you. Plus there's scripts in there for you to follow, especially when it comes to the induction, which is the part of relaxation. And sometimes the reason why I want to do this live is that even me myself, I need like a kick in the ass to get down to business, like sit down and write it and do it. I see a heart, but I can't see if anyone is on. So do say hello, do say where you're from. Let us know where you are at with your self-hypnosis journey, if you've ever tried it, or if there's something that you are working towards. And I think I could probably see the chat here. Yeah. So full disclosure, I just started my moon. Women will understand. So I'm all like, oh, great day to choose to come live. I'm going to answer a question I did receive from someone in my email newsletter that's actually really important. So he wrote, I have written a script, but I don't like my voice. What do you think? So decaf coffee, we'll talk about this. Almost no one is comfortable with their voice when they record themselves and they hear themselves for the first time. Like, I think even myself, my first response was, this is cringy, this is creepy. I think I laughed pretty hard. And I sent it to my best friend, and my best friend was like, oh, this is really good. You sound great. And I was like, oh, really? So it's like, even people who do this, and now I recognize that I do have a great voice for hypnosis. I do have a great voice for meditations. But even at that, I'll tell you, sometimes I can't listen to my own voice. Like, I do it, but then sometimes I'm like, I need a break from my own voice. So know that everyone cringes a little when it comes to their own voice. And what I will encourage is to remove the word, I don't like my voice. Because when you say that, it's already a level of self-rejection, right? Whereas we're doing hypnosis to accept ourselves, to step into our most empowered sense of self, our most divine self. And so you may not want to always listen to your own voice, but change that to, I love my voice. My voice is empowering. My voice is fantastic. You have to get yourself to this place where you recognize the unique value and power of your voice, right? Your voice is very unique, like your thumbprint, like your facial features. You are a unique human, right? Even as a soul who's part of a collective, there is the law of oneness and all of that, but you yourself, you're unique. There's a unique power to your voice. And it's like, if I could compare it to something like maybe a little sidetracky, but when you go to the gym, okay, and you have this 20-pound dumbbell, okay? And let's say you've never been to the gym, okay? I'm thinking of myself, the 20-pound dumbbell is pretty heavy. Do I like lifting it at first? No, it's uncomfortable, it's heavy. I've never really done this. There's no relationship with it, but I love the strength. I love the strength of my arms. I love the strength that's going to become of my arms through that. And so a part of it is getting through the discomfort of practicing, right? The muscle memory of lifting that dumbbell. And after a while, maybe you won't be like, hey, I'm going to be a professional dumbbell raiser, like making shit up here, but follow me through this. but I'll get to a place where I admire my devotion to lifting the dumbbell. I love the strength that's coming through from lifting this dumbbell. And that repetition has gotten me to accept, love, and grow in a unique way. So my first response to a question like that is, it's perfectly normal. Just practice and speak to yourself differently. Remember that your subconscious mind like works with certain commands. And if you command yourself to love the power of your voice, love the honor and sorry, not love the honor, honor and respect the wisdom of your words, the wisdom of your intuition, that will automatically get you to change that relationship. And then it comes to playing around with it, right? Like the way I'm speaking right now is not necessarily how I'm going to record a hypnosis. I believe in that first video, I say, play around with your octaves, lower your voice, make your voice a little sexy. I don't know, whatever, like play around with it, right? And I had this idea also, I mean, like we live in this world of AI. When I first started like learning hypnosis and I did self-hypnosis, there was no AI. So I do believe there's tools where you can record and you can put the track and change that voice to something else. The most important is the relationship you have with receiving this into your body, into your mind. And so whatever you need to do that, do it. But I do encourage that you kind of get over it and do your thing, right? And also anyone who's here, feel free to write into the chat anything that you have, like in terms of questions about the process of how to create the hypnosis track if you feel blocked in a certain way. I'll share with you a little bit of where I'm at in my journey and what's been working, what hasn't been working. So right now, you're going to get parts that I probably won't share in an actual video. So until I'm over it. But right now I'm going through a huge internal shift. Like some of it is from the external, like I've quit drinking alcohol for like, it's been, way over 6 months now. 6 months since the last like sip of alcohol. It was New Year's. I had 1 or 2 sips of champagne and I was like, meh, I'm done. I'm over it. Literally New Year's resolution. That's it. I'm done. I'm over it. But even before that, I started dramatically cutting out alcohol out of my life. So I've quit drinking alcohol. I quit drinking caffeine, hence the decaf coffee. Bittersweet. It has a little bit of caffeine, but it's nothing like an actual coffee. I've changed my diet around. I've been working out consistently. I've been investing in a trainer. It is a very luxurious investment from my perspective, though also been completely revolutionized how I operate at the gym and stuff. So those are some external changes that have happened. Some changes with the way I deal with my finances have happened and are continuing to happen. So those are some things that I'm changing that like are aligned with my highest self, with my authentic potential. And then there are the bigger internal shifts that are going on. And these are the things I'm not ready to share about. And it has a lot to do with the relationship I have with certain humans in this world and certain perceptions that I've had my entire life, and coming to a place of grieving certain things and making my peace. You can hear already the sigh, deep self-acceptance coming in. And there's a moment that I reached that like the shifts are happening, they're happening. And I shit you not, I literally felt like I was about to go crazy. And there is a level of feeling that you're going to go crazy before a spiritual awakening. And I've felt this before. And if anyone's an OG, you'll know that like a few years ago when I came to Antigua for the first time during our honeymoon between my husband and I felt my biggest spiritual awakening. And I feel like life has been one continuous spiritual awakening since. But this moment right here, it feels completely different. And I'm fully supported in the sense that I have my shaman, I got my therapist, I got my husband, I got my friends. So I feel good in that sense. But there's still like this major fear of going crazy in some ways, because when someone's reality, and I hope this serves you at some point in your life, if you go through a big transition, when your reality is changing, when your perception of everything you've known is changing and the paradigm is shifting rapidly, we all want that result on the other side. Okay, like we all want to feel better, we all want to feel like, okay, I went through this transition, it's awesome. Through that transition, like that void between, you're no longer your old self, you have not fully come to be in your new self, your construct of how you perceive reality is completely shifting. It's a little terrifying, to say the least. And so what I'm doing right now with my self-hypnosis, so I have my journal, Step into the Chrysalis. And this is like, by the way, like I know it's my journal and I say it's the best journal. It literally is like one of the most top-notch journals out there. And I'm taking snippets of things that have come through over the last few weeks, moments of acute clarity, downloads that I have received from the divine. And when I say downloads, for me, it's like a remembrance of the truth. So one of the biggest truths for me at this that has been for the last 8 years is to follow love. Like love has led me to manifest, following the energy of love, specifically the vibration of love. Like I have this tattooed here: nothing is real outside of love, because I wholeheartedly believe in the magic and the power of this vibration. And it's the only one that has brought me any sensation of true inner peace. Because, and I spoke about this with my therapist, because some of these shifts are so real and so coming from like very early on childhood and like completely deconstructed to now, I've come to recognize that it is a kind of a no-brainer. Like nothing in this life is guaranteed, right? Like the only guarantee we have is that we'll die one day. And maybe that sounds morbid to you, but it's a truth, right? Like our soul will continue to live, but this human body, there's a finite moment for that. And so are certain realities. None of them are necessarily guaranteed. I'm not sure I like how I phrased that, but like a perception you have perhaps of someone, a relationship you have, these things can evolve, they can change, they will most definitely change as you change, right? And so in order to loosen the grip of the ego identity, the one that really wants everything to stay the same, we have to be willing to surrender, to let go, to let versions of ourselves die. And some versions of us have lived longer than others. They have deeper grips than others. And so what I want to use, this hypnosis track that I'm creating, is to really anchor in a deeper trust in this energy of love. Because at this point, it literally feels like I'm trying to grip onto things and there's nothing to grip onto. Right? There are things like I have my marriage, I have my friends, like there are tangible things. But when you go, and I promise you, if you know, like drop it into the chat, or if you ever go through this, you will completely understand what I'm saying right now, is that when the identity shift, when the inner reality goes through such a deep transition, the fear will be really epic. Like it will be very real. And like it has caused me like some panic attacks. Like I'm not even gonna front. Like I like literally have to like sit my ass down and calm myself down, and to surrender and to let go, because you can't hang on. You can't hang on to the old reality. As comforting as it is, it's also uncomfortable, first of all, but like you can't hang on. So I hope that made sense the way I explained it. And so that's what I'm going to do. And so I'll be quiet now. I'm going to back up and do some of the work. I kind of create my tracks like this. I open up a book here like this, and I'm going to start scripting, and then I'm going to leave it alone for maybe 24 hours. And I'm going to the beach later today. And then I'm going to feel into it, come back home, like feel into it. Is this meant to be for me? Am I seeing clearly? Is there hints of my ego? And by tomorrow, within 24 hours, I'll be very clear on it, and then I will sit and record it. And so drop any questions you have. I don't know if I can see. I can't see. I think I can't see. So drop any questions that you may have. I will look up every now and then. But if you're also here to sit your ass down and record, script, or you can record. I can't hear you. Sit your ass down and do the thing. Let's do it. Setting the vibes, my crystals. Okay. Hey, hey, Sammer. Awesome. Nice to see you. What's up? We're writing our hypnosis scripts. There's something I also wanted to share with y'all. So it's all, I know I just said like it's terrifying that fear is real, but I also wanted to say that in that crazy, we also face our deepest truth. And that's something that came through. And if anyone wants me to talk about this further, drop it into the chat, like talking about spiritual awakenings, going through the transitions, and using hypnosis to support us through the transition. If that's something you're interested in terms of a video, leave it into the chat, and I would love to create that for you. Oh, sending you so much love back. Y'all, let me know if you're also doing your self-hypnosis scripts, if you've started the process, because this is the point. Like, we also want to get over like the not doing it and getting it done. I downloaded today and taking it with me for my holiday. Looking forward to that. Beautiful. I love that. You're so welcome. Holidays are a great time to think about these things, by the way. Holidays, for the women, when you're on your moon cycle and you're feeling like the energies, you're feeling your emotions. These are great times. Inspiration, attunement, like these are really great times to tap into what you know you want to bring forward, what you want to highlight, because you're inspired in some cases. In some cases, when your energy is lower, you're also more like, okay, but what am I carrying that I don't want to be carrying anymore? Like, if I want to be at my most comforted, inspired, and when I say comforted, I don't mean stay in your little zone. Like, the discomfort of growth always, right? But it's an exciting discomfort, right? Deep self acceptance. These are the moments where it gets kind of clear, and use those moments as inspirations, 100%. There's also times, and this is something I would love for everyone to be clear on, is that you're going to feel an energy of, this feels like a good belief to bring forward and to highlight. And you'll notice right away a bit of a contraction in your body. And play around with those, because it's okay. When we're used to thinking a certain way, even when a positive belief comes and we recognize it and we remember it as a truth, we might feel a little like, is it right? Is it okay? Play with it. Write it in a few different ways. Your words are literally like magic. Feel the different vibrations of those words, And when you plant it inside your subconscious through hypnosis, that's when you'll truly see how you're going to witness it. Because the whole point is for us to have stronger beliefs, beliefs that resonate with the truth of our hearts, with the truth of our souls, with our path. It's to create that roadmap for us to move forward as we want to in this life, right? And sometimes it's going to take a minute to figure out, okay, what temperature, what kind of, how do I create the secret sauce? Which path do I want to take to the final destination, right? There's not always just one path to go, like from point A to point B, from New York to California, from Montreal to Toronto. There's not just one way. There are different ways. Some paths may take longer and are more scenic. Some paths are more straightforward. And so just to play around with whatever feels like it's the path for you is as clear and unclear as that can sound. And let me know in the chat whenever, even as you watch the replay, if that makes sense to you, and if you want a bigger discussion on how to integrate beliefs that there's a lot of body resistance towards. Hi, from Indonesia. Wow. Can I ask about how, this thing is, how powerful meditation? Because like the thingy is like blocking the end of your word. Can I ask about how powerful meditation? What do you mean? Like how powerful meditation can be in the sense of, in terms of hypnosis? I'll start off with assuming that that's what you meant. I hope that's what you meant anyways. So full disclosure, I was never a really good meditator until I started doing hypnosis. I had a really hard time just sitting there and focusing on what was said or just calming my mind, basically. The difference between hypnosis and meditation is that in hypnosis, we surrender. Okay, so that's what you meant. So in hypnosis, we surrender. And the point of having these written and having a transmission is really to surrender and to receive. I don't think of anything when I'm in hypnosis. I tell my clients the same thing. I'm like, even if your mind is thinking, this is also the point of induction, by the way. Sometimes even if you're rattled up and there's so much going on in your mind, let it. It's fine. By the time you get to the part of the staircase, especially if you put transcendental music, like theta beat melodies, delta wave melodies, if you find those and put those, there are a lot of them for free online, by the way. You will go into a deep state of relaxation, and it will be like just you're somewhere else, and there's almost little to no effort in that sense. It's much more feminine energy. It's really about surrendering and let it come through. Meditation is slightly more masculine energy driven, because there is a focus of, I need to focus on this mantra, or I need to focus on this affirmation, or I need to focus on my breathing. Even breath work is a masculine energy practice, right? And there is so much power to meditation, right? You can set yourself to do a 2-minute meditation, 5-minute meditation, 10-minute meditation. Sometimes I'm like, let me be in a meditative state all day, actually, right? Whereas I wouldn't necessarily say go into a hypnotic state all day. I wouldn't personally recommend that, unless you're planning to just really chillax all day kind of thing. So meditation is incredibly powerful. And for anyone who's struggling with meditation, hypnosis is a great gateway to meditation, because it will install in your habit body to relax, to surrender, to let go, and to calm down. Both are powerful. They're just slightly different, right? I also personally love like meditating with nothing, either music or just sitting outside and listening to the sound of nature, even if I'm in the city, the sound of the city, whatever it is, and hearing my thoughts, just observing my thoughts, right? In hypnosis, I will also recommend, yes, observe your thoughts, but it's not the observation of your thoughts that is the most potent part of what you're doing, right? The most potent part of a hypnosis is the surrendering, the letting go, and the allowance to bypass that critical factor in your analytical mind, to go into your subconscious and plant those seeds and allow them to flourish, water the seeds, allow them to flourish. Sometimes in hypnosis, and if anyone is joining next week's live hypnosis that we're doing for the future self-hypnosis, sometimes when we go into hypnosis, we'll seek some answers, right? Like we'll seek to connect with our future self and feel that vibration of that person that we are becoming, and ask a question, right? You can also do that in a meditation, but what I found in hypnosis is that you go into a way deeper truth, because the control has been surrendered, it's been let go, and it's been given literally to your higher self. And again, you can technically do this in meditation, but I've, in the decade plus that I've like gone in and out of meditation, and in the shorter fraction of time that I've tested this with hypnosis with clients as well, what I've observed is that when you do even this of seeking solutions, seeking answers in a hypnotic state, it is way better, way clearer and more true. Does that answer the question? But that said, meditation is freaking awesome, and I meditate every single day, like literally, especially breathwork meditations. I love that. Let me know if that answered your question, and if you want me to elaborate a bit more. That said, if y'all have not heard that next week we're going to do a hypnosis. We're going to do a future self-hypnosis. I feel like part of the offering was because I'm like, I need that shit myself right now. Like, as someone who's very clear normally on the future and has a lot of trust, I'm like, so much is changing, especially if you're in Aries, Cancer, I believe Leo, and another moon sign, sun, moon, rising. You may feel big time identity shifts, right? Like big time identity shifts at this point. And so just getting that future self clarity can be extremely powerful. So I'm just going to drop that into the chat. If anyone wants to join next week, you are free to join. And if you want to do a future self hypnosis for yourself, because I've done those, what I would recommend is that you do a combination of goal setting, right? So you write your goals, but I personally wouldn't go too deep into it because, and I'll tell you why. If you asked me 5 years ago, if I'd be here today, I would have not really had that idea. I wouldn't have seen it. So I would not have guessed how I would get here. I would not have known I'm going to be living in Antigua. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. But I did have a sensation of what I wanted to bring forward. So when I went into the hypnosis, sometimes I would put really specific, strict goals. And then I realized that what works best is what is the energy of who you're becoming? What is that embodiment feel like? What are some of the things that version of you that's embodied that personality, or that's embodied that energy, and like that's what she exudes, that's what he or she exudes. Like, what is she doing on a day-to-day? What is the one piece of advice she would give to me? And allowing that to pull forward, right? So I don't know how I got here with the conversation, but oh yeah, okay. So if you want to do the future self hypnosis yourself, that's just one piece of advice that I would give. And then there's some of y'all who know, we had this discussion once in the video, a couple of videos ago, where I was like, those of us who are from the new earth, like I can see 6 months ahead in terms of the actions I need to take. And then I've realized in life, I've never been like, let me plan from A to Z, right? Some of y'all plan from A to Z. If that's you, put those goals, get nice and strict. If that's what rocks your boat, and you're like, I'm going to put that in my subconscious, and that's going to propel you into taking action, by the way. It's going to propel to shift your vibration, and do it. If that's for you, do it. And some of my clients are like that. And if that's the case, we go ahead and do that. But what I've noticed that really serves even deeper is to loosen the grip and be open to all the different possibilities and say, okay, where is it that my soul is being called to go? Where is it that I desire to go? How do I want to live my days? Like, even one simple example is, I had this idea, like, I don't want to wake up with an alarm clock. And I had been with an alarm clock pretty much my whole life, like school and then work. And I remember, like, when I was working for the government, like I had to put a really horrible song that gave me anxiety to get out of bed. Like, sometimes I think of my past life, I'm like, I don't even understand how I survived. But like, I got to this point in my life where I was like, I would love to just wake up when I want to wake up. And I didn't know how, but that's what I put in my future self hypnosis. I was like, I wake up when I'm rested, and the alarm is there as an option, right? So sometimes I will put my alarm, like if I have a client at 7 a.m, like just to be sure, okay, I will put that alarm. But otherwise, that's the reality. And then the subconscious mind is a goal-seeking machine too, right? So it's like, you plant the vibration of what you desire to be, who you desire to be, the lifestyle you desire to live, it will freaking figure out how to do it. And to recognize that sometimes, from like right now, I'm here and I'm going to a place, like I know I want to be a best-selling author. I know I want to create documentaries. I know there's certain things I know I want, right, that are meant for me, that have been in my vision. And so as much as I will plant those seeds, but I will also think of like, what's the version of me that gets to do that, right? She's a confident writer. She writes every day. Right? What if I plant that in my subconscious? And what if I also plant that might have the space to do it, the time space to do it? And so then as I plant those seeds, my subconscious starts to scan the world, starts to say, okay, here's the opportunity. Here's a collaboration that will allow you to work better and faster and more synergetic. So you got to get like really creative too, right? And say like, okay, in my future self is this way, let me get nice and creative. And again, if you want to do this together, definitely come join the activation that we have next week, because it is going to be very potent and powerful, and I'll leave it at that. Okay. If you have any other questions, put them in the chat. I'm almost done with my first version, by the way. Wow, it's been 40 minutes. I guess I've been talking a lot too. I'm almost done with my first version. It's like, I'm not going to force filling up like the whole thing. I'm private with what I wrote, as you can tell. Some parts I'm private. I'm always down to share things, but like after the integration, and I think that's important for everyone. Like, don't share your shit with the whole world, like no matter what. I'm looking forward a good online school. I'm looking forward to a good online school. What kind of online school are you looking for? There's so many amazing online schools, by the way. You're so welcome. Oh, where did I learn hypnosis? Sorry, I didn't see the first part of the question. So I learned hypnosis in Montreal, in person. It was literally right before the pandemic. My mom actually found the institution. It's called the National Guild of Hypnotists. Is it? I may have butchered that. It's in my LinkedIn. So I actually learned it in person. And for the longest time, I recommended anyone who wanted to learn it to learn it in person, just because there is such a power to doing it in person, at least in the first few times, the teacher being right there. And experiencing being hypnotized in person. That said, I operate most of my business online. Like, the only time I'm going to do an in-person hypnosis is at the retreat that my business partner and I, Diana Scanner, and I, were going to do in August. But other than that, I do everything online, and it works really well. So I would say, if you have the option to do it where you are, right, even if it's not like the top tier school, do it in person if you feel like you resonate with them. And then dabble with other courses online after you start making some money, because you'll make money pretty quickly when you start learning hypnosis, if it's like something you want to do as a profession, right? If it's something like personal and you want to go to the top tier school, there's so many great ones. But I don't feel comfortable like fully recommending them, just because I haven't gone through their programs. I've listened to their hypnoses, these people, and I've taken parts of what I've loved. Like, I'm thinking of Marissa Peer, Grace Smith. There's other ones. They're not coming to my mind right now, but there's a lot of really great, famous hypnotherapists out there, and they teach their modalities. It does cost a pretty penny to learn from them online. I had one client who loved what we were doing, and she found, again, a group that was doing it both in person. Part of it was in person, part of it was online. And so find the right solution for you, right? I think, like, and I'll tell you, like, super honestly, the place I learned it from, my process has significantly changed over the years, and I wouldn't necessarily go back there. Just being honest, because the teacher I learned from, she's amazing. She's awesome. I don't think she teaches there anymore. She was the secret sauce. And I've evolved from that secret sauce to creating my own secret sauce, right? So know that also, in the sense that if you want to learn it, go with your gut feeling, do your due diligence, but to know that you're going to learn a technique and it's going to evolve. It's going to evolve with your practice. All right, so if you have other questions, I really resonate with the idea of learning in person. Thank you for sharing. You're very welcome. I know we live in such a digital age that we forget, hey, there's human to human contact here. Like, you know. If there's any other questions, let me know. I'm going to stay here another maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And I'm going to go set this aside. Again, the whole process, setting it aside, going into nature, coming back, writing maybe a bit more. And by tomorrow, I'm going to sit and record. Something that no one asked, that I'm like, maybe people should know how, like, I think I forgot to even add it in the PDF. If you want to have a stellar recording, record it on a platform like Audacity, or I have a Mac, so Audacity is free on Mac. Even if it's with your computer, right? Like I have a mic also. If you have even like the cheapest mics, like they're actually quite good. Record on Audacity. There's a video on YouTube that I found that's like 5 minutes, and it tells you how to clean up the track. It takes literally 5 minutes. You clean up the track, you add the music, you download it, and you listen to it, and then you have yourself a professional track. So that's also how I record it for myself. And then if you want to go the extra layer, get people on Fiverr. So like they make it sound really good for not that expensive either. Okay, I think I'm good here. Any other questions? Feeling called to just end this with a little micro meditation, actually. So, my shoulder, this shoulder's been like, okay. All right. So just ending this with a quick little meditation. So sit up straight or just get nice and comfortable, whatever rocks your boat. I'm going to just sit up straight. Okay. Close your eyes and take a nice, deep, letting go breath. Settling into your body. Settling into the here, into the now. And as you feel yourself breathing in and out, allow your hands to go where they want to go. So I'm going to gently place one hand on my heart and the other hand on my lower belly, my womb space. Straightening my neck, opening up the chest, relaxing the shoulders. And take a beautiful deep breath into your lower belly. And exhale. One more time. Deep breath into the lower belly. And exhale. One last time. Deep breath into the lower belly. And exhale. Remember in this moment that you are literally made of stardust. And as you come on this earth and you step into this divine human body that performs miracles for you every single day, remembering that you are also part of Mother Nature, this beautiful planet is so abundant in the way it works, in its fruition in nature. And you're a part of that. You are a part of this abundance. And as you're sitting there, laying there, breathing into this beautiful human body, allow your consciousness to expand. Notice that your consciousness expands far outside of this human mind, this physical brain. And you are so powerful. You are so much more powerful than your mind can sometimes even comprehend. And as you surrender sometimes to the limitations that the mind tries to impose, to release them, to let them go, surrender them to the divine, surrender the burden of carrying those doubts to God. Exhale, breathe. Let the weight of the world off your shoulders and give yourself the opportunity to expand into the beauty and the love and the magic of the quantum realm, of the galaxies, of even the oceans. Just take whatever feels good for you, remembering that you get to change at any point in your life. A belief you had yesterday, today, even to this moment that no longer serves you, that you've outgrown, literally take it out. Thank you. Goodbye. Stepping back into your body, knowing that this body is a temple. And it's not a ground to allow traumas to live in forever. It's not a stomping ground of other people's beliefs that don't resonate with your soul truth. It's not a burial ground. Your body is sacred. And it also has so much wisdom. So as you expand your consciousness, as you plant those seeds in your subconscious, give yourself that unapologetic permission to fertilize your body with goodness, with kindness, with love, acceptance, and to step into your magic every day in every way. And to know that you're a human, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna feel like you failed, you're gonna fail, you're gonna struggle. You're here for it all. You didn't come on this earth to play small. You didn't come on this earth to not feel. You came on this earth to live and to experience a life and to experience a soul growth. And as you remember that, feel your body dancing with that truth, dancing with that truth, calling in your soul tribe. Calling in your angels. And as you're dancing in your truth, your uniqueness, your individualism, know that you're never alone. Not even for a second. You are always loved, supported, and guided. And if that's the only truth you need to remember in this moment, let it be so. And bringing your hands into a prayer position, if that feels good for you, to simply say thank you for this life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for another day on this earth. Thank you for everything that has brought me to this point of conscious awareness. Thank you for everything that has reminded me to love myself. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the opportunities. And thank you for this moment. Okay. Oh, I'm so happy. Sorry, open your eyes. I opened my eyes without saying that. It's so funny, that meditation, I went back to it. That's the meditation that I received the clarity to write after the biggest spiritual awakening I had a few years ago. And life has been one spiritual awakening ever since. And in this moment of, if you weren't there at the beginning of the live, of extreme doubt and the the fear of going into a new zone of completely changing. I actually went back to that meditation. And that's something I would love to resonate with all of you. When you have a moment of clarity and truth, to write it down, to record it. And it's going to be there with you in a cellular level. But as you iterate another version of your life, things can get shaken. And I went back to that meditation myself and listened to it the other night. And it reminded me, yes, yes, yes. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for devoting yourself to these practices. Sometimes we don't realize how magical it is, because when you do this practice on you, you heal your ancestors, you heal the people around you. When you're able to let your shoulders down, stand in your power, have a firm softness, as firmness and softness to you, the world is literally your oyster. Thank you so much. I'm sending you all so much love. You can continue to write into the chat. By the way, this video is going to stay on. And if you have any other questions that come up, write them down. Let me know. I love to answer every single one of them. And until the next live, bye.